Slay, I'll start with you. When you look at this matchup, I don't know what the line is going to be, but Florida has not just won 9 of 10; they've covered 9 of 10 as well. What does Kentucky need to do to win this game in the Swamp, mind you, too, down in Gainesville?
Apply big pressure. Apply pressure. You got to test. We keep talking about how skilled Houck is, Condon is, and I thought that was their pressure release last year for Florida when the guards would get pressured and the possession would get moved out to half court. They would just release it to the bigs, and the bigs would start doing those backdoor cuts, hitting guards and things of that nature, dribble handoffs, putting people in bad spots. So if I'm Kentucky, I'm forcing them, knowing how thin I am in the front court. I'm putting it on Ortega-Oweh, Aberdeen, Colin Chandler, anybody that's Jasper Johnson, whoever can come in, apply heavy pressure to the guards to make them give it up to the bigs. The bigs have to beat me from the perimeter by making plays. Not being able to get to your spots, running it NBA line and in, running your plays as far as post-ups or whatever it may be, you got to apply pressure. I thought that's one of the things Mark Pope's done in this little winning streak that they got going, being able to tinker with his defense going into the second half, throwing out a 2-2-1 press, throwing out a little matchup zone here and then off the first pass, them going man. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing. And that's how Kentucky, they manufacture points also. They don't need to be standing half court saying, okay, let's let them get set and we'll run out. We'll scheme up something. You ain't got the shooters for that. You don't have the floor spacing for that. So to be able to get the ball turned over, and it's a big task. We just talked about how great Florida was. So, but that's what I think they would have to do, man. Apply big pressure to be able to manufacture some easy live ball turnovers and get some buckets, some 2-on-1s, some 3-on-2s, and then you get guys filling the gaps. Colin Chandler for 3, Jasper Johnson for 3, so forth and so on.
Coach, what do you think?
I really think Kentucky's got to find a way to shoot it well. They've got to make, because they're not going to be able to score in the paint. They're not going to be able. The way Ortega drives it to the hole, he's going to have to go over 2 6'10", 7-footers. That's going to be hard to do. They're going to force him to drive it and play into that mid-range area. I think Florida will. I think the key is can Kentucky guard inside against Florida and Chinaloo and those guys in Condon inside, and because they really haven't stopped people. Now the kid Moreno's been pretty good inside. They need to have a really good game defensively from Garrison and Diabate. Those guys need to be really, really good. Like Diabate matching up with Thomas Houck would probably be pretty good. Should be a pretty good matchup if they match up against each other and everything. But the bottom line is I think Kentucky has got to find a way to make open shots, make threes. Aberdeen needs to make shots. If they go underneath the ball screen, they need to try to get Chandler making some shots and maybe Jasper doing the same thing. But I think they're going to struggle with Florida inside. And I think Florida, especially at home, they are going to pressure the crap out of Kentucky. They're going to pressure them all the way full court. And Boogie Flan is terrific on the ball. He's terrific on the ball. So he's going to cause a lot of havoc for their guards.
Yeah, the
Good. Do you
margin,
think the two best teams? Go ahead.
The last 4 games, Florida's margin of victory is like almost 30 points. I expect it to stay around there after this game. I really do. I think they're going to blow Kentucky out. I do. I think they're going to absolutely. I just think, listen, Kentucky's won close games, but they haven't faced anybody like Florida. They just haven't. Yeah. Moreno's going to have trouble. We know that. Like staying on the floor. You throw Diabate out there, that's great, like defensively. But as you said, like he can't space the floor. Can't shoot it. So how are you getting your offense? That's the hard part with kind of the construction of this team still and why there's a ceiling on this group, right? Like you've got a couple guys that are really good defensively but can't really shoot. You don't have really that. And Garrison's like this. We have no idea what you're getting out of Brandon Garrison from game to game. Now, he's got to have like a career game like he did last week. I just don't see it happening against this Florida team, guys. I mean, I could see this being – again, getting very, very ugly. And that's fine. Listen, Kentucky's won, 11 of the last 14? They're playing with house money compared to what we thought they were going to be at this point. But again, I think if Kentucky can honestly get out of Gainesville, get out of the swamp with like losing by single digits, I think it's a win. I honestly do.
All right, I gotta look at the line right now. I'm dying to know what it is because Kentucky is a brand. This is going to go over well. It's a good social media fodder for sure. Now, just to play devil's advocate for a minute here, Auburn did just walk in there and beat them like 2 weeks ago, and they were able to outscore them in the paint. And they were able. Now, some of the matchups there were some different issues. And yeah, Florida didn't play well. They made some shots and missed some shots in the interior they usually make. Doesn't matter. Auburn walked in there and walked out with a W, which now looks pretty surprising. So it can be done. It's just you got to play really well, and Florida's kind of a bit off their game. You got
Daily. I think the one thing with Auburn though, they had a point guard that even though thrust into that role being a 6-man last year in Tahad Pettiford, he was able to control pace. That's one thing he's not been the Tahad we thought he would be this year, but as far as speeding him up, you're not going to speed him up. I thought that was one of the biggest things. They took the air out of the ball, and it was at their pace. They hit some big time shots. Like Coach was saying, like you got to be able to make some shots. That was the equalizer. Keyshawn Hall saying, you know what, I'll get it going, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. So I think that's the biggest thing with this group. I will say, man, Kentucky has confidence, and with confidence, sometimes comes a lot of foolishness, foolishness in hope, foolishness in the will, foolishness in believing that you really can get it done. And I would be shocked. I'm like, good. I'd be shocked if they went down there and got a victory. But I will say it is something floating around with this Kentucky team. Now, do I think they can take off on a run? No, I do not. I think it's right here. It's in this season, and they got it right here at this moment. And if they can hold on to it, I think they can go down there and make it a battle. But if you ask me to wager on it, I'm most definitely not wagering on it. No, not at all.
If I'm giving you 10 points,
the spread is there, my friend.
If I'm giving, what is it?
I'm not taking it.
Yeah, you're not taking it.
We don't know. I could find a look ahead line. I bet MGM does not.
Just for the simple fact, they don't have a point guard. They don't have a point guard like that can control the tempo or the pace.
Yeah. Right. Aberdeen can't do that.
He can't do that.
If anything, he gets better.
You don't know how emotional Aberdeen's going to be going back down there either.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
if the game was played at Rupp, you'd think they'd have a chance. But it's in Gainesville. That place is going to be jumping.
Yeah.
Boys, you know how this happens though too. When all of us say they can't do it, it's just going to age really well. So then they're going to walk down. That's
I just looked at it.
That's fantastic.
I said 10 and a half. It's 11. Ken Palm's got it at 11.
Ken Palm's got it, which usually that line is close. But when you have a huge brand name like that, they tend to bake that in, and I could see that being an 8 or 9 point line because you don't want to lay too much with Kentucky. That's going to get so much action. You can't you bake that in a little bit, but we'll see.
It's so much they got to go. Go ahead. It's so much to go with that. Brandon Garrison. Garrison's not playing like that no more. That was a one-off. He's not playing. I'm willing to go out there on a limb and say Garrison will not have career highs like that.
Correct. I agree with you.
The big fella with the
much of them. We've seen too much of Brandon Garrison that was a one-off. That was the exception.
That was it.
Not the rule. Right.
Yep.
We got to hit a break here. If you're listening on channel 84, Sirius XM channel 84, we will be back here in just a minute here on Field 68 After Dark. We were getting into now two big-time teams had some battles here. Michigan was down late against Northwestern. UConn